Hello everyone and welcome to another unboxing and first look at another vacuum cleaner. This one's a Bosch and it's the first brand new Bosch I've featured on my channel. I have done an older Bosch which was actually brand new in the box, but it was an old model you can't buy anymore. So I thought it was time I did a new up-to-date Bosch. This is one of the very latest Athlete cordless models. This is the ProAnimal version. So it's aimed at pet owners. So let's have a look at it. I will be giving this a full charge, and at the end of this unboxing I will be showing you a brief demonstration, but I'll probably do that tomorrow and I'll tag it onto the end of this because I want to make sure it has a full charge. I don't have to charge it overnight. I'm not sure how many hours it needs to charge, but I want to make sure it's fully charged before I do any demonstrations. Now, I bought this Bosch. This was the result of a poll I had on my Facebook page of what vacuum to buy, and several people voted. It was a toss-up between buying this Bosch or the Dyson small ball upright. And I must say the Bosch won by a landslide. Most people who voted wanted to see the Bosch. So here's the cleaning head, finished in a nice red colour. Got some protective film over it, so I'll carefully remove that. It says it's all floor cleaning performance on carpets, parquet and hard floor with crevices. And because it's a ProAnimal, it comes with an extra brush roll. This part seems quite well made. I believe this cleaner is actually manufactured in China. Bosch is a German company, but this is made in China. Not sure which brush roll is in the head, whether this is the standard or the ProAnimal, but it's, as you can see, it's got a combination of brushes, black and red. I don't know if they're any different. I think the black ones are very slightly stiffer, but there's not a lot in it. So that's the business end of the vacuum for your carpets and floors. This is the accessory hose when you're using it for above the floor cleaning. And there's some sort of a shoulder strap. Yes, there's a shoulder strap attached, because this is a little illustration of how you use it. There we go, if we can see that. There has been some comments on various Bosch models that have the hose, but the hose isn't very convenient to use and there's not a lot of suction. So by the end of my demonstration I'll be doing a full demo of this. We'll find out whether it's worth paying the extra and getting the hose, but if you just want the machine for your carpets and floors just whizzing around, and maybe you've got a separate cylinder or handheld, you might find you don't need the hose and cleaning tools. This is a spare, as far as I know, it's a spare filter. So that comes, as well as a spare brush roll, you get a spare filter with the ProAnimal. It will be washable. It seems to be a two-part filter. There's a black sponge, and underneath that there is another type, sort of a fabric. It is a micro filter. It's got a symbol of a hand in a bowl, so it is hand washable, that filter, as most are bagless cleaners. Now this is one reason. There is another model I believe has this feature, but one reason I went for the pet version is the addition of this stubby handle. When you're using the hose it can be quite unwieldy because the machine's quite long and you've got the length of the handle, so when it's on your shoulder, when you're using it for above floor, the handle can sort of get in the way, and I can imagine it knocking things over if you're not careful. So you can replace the full-sized handle with this mini handle. It's still got the three functions. It's got setting 1, setting 2 and the turbo setting, just like the main handle will have. But you just replace the main handle with that when you're using the cleaning tools. It makes the whole machine a little bit more compact. Right, we've got all the instructions in here, the guarantee. I'll be checking, I think it's a 2-year guarantee with Bosch. I will check all that. Yes, you need to register it with Bosch for your free 2-year parts and labour guarantee. You can also have an optional service plan if you wish. Obviously that's going to cost more. And 4 years protection for your vacuum cleaner will cost a one-off fee of £51 or 10 direct debit payments of £4.10. You save £10 when you pay by direct debit. So it's a 4-year, so you're really only paying for an extra 2 years. So it might be worth looking at for £4.10 a month to extend the guarantee to 4 years. Right, what's this? This must be the... this is the ProAnimal brush roll. So it's basically got slightly shorter, possibly slightly stiffer brushes. I'll be checking the performance of this, of course, in a full demo. I'll be testing it on pet hair. Obviously it's a pet version, so you want to know, apart from cleaning normal dirt, you want to know that it's going to deal with your pet hair. Otherwise, why buy the pet version? I think we're on to the, nearly onto the cleaner. This tool looks very similar, if you're familiar with Miele cleaning tools, it's very similar to Miele's mattress tool, that's almost identical in the shape. You can use that for mattresses, you can also use that on your upholstery. I think there will be another upholstery nozzle in the box as well. It should be, oh yes, just here at the top. And again, that is surprisingly like a Miele nozzle. I've seen Miele do a wide upholstery nozzle like this, so it's a bit wider, so you can clean your upholstery, your sofas, etc. a little bit quicker with that wide head. What else is in here? Oh, that's a nice long crevice tool. Branded Bosch, but that slightly longer than an average. A decent length of crevice tool is about 30 centimetres, 12 inches. I think that's possibly about 13 inches. So that will certainly get down the side of your chairs, in your nooks and crannies, and it'll help clean down the sides of your kitchen appliances. Get all those crumbs. Right, I think the handle wants to come out now. There's a little swing ticket on there with the main features. It says 30% faster cleaning and cordless. It has a runtime of up to 60 minutes, lithium-ion batteries, and it has Bosch's SensorBagless Technology. Right. Let's unwrap this. Again, it's got the red accent colour. Bosch tend to, all their pet model vacuum cleaners tend to be red. It's the way you can identify. I can't say that that's always going to be the case, but I have found that their full-sized bagged and bagless cylinder vacuums do tend to be red if they're the pet version. So again, you've got the 3-position switch, off, setting 1, setting 2, and turbo. Obviously when it's in turbo it will have a shorter running time. The grip seems quite comfortable and it's got a rubberized finish, so that's quite good. All feels quite sturdy. You've got silver colour on the other side. So I think finally the cleaner itself. I'll just check that there's nothing else in the box. No, that's everything. Just unwrap the cleaner. It's very smart looking. So again, it's got the red accent colour and silver and a little bit of chrome as well. Looks like a reasonable sized container. That's it. Now there's nothing, I've seen how to empty this on, I've looked at other YouTube videos. It did seem a little bit old-fashioned the way you empty it. Often with bagless cleaners you'd have a little button at the bottom and a flap in order for you to empty the dirt. With this one though, you have to remove the filter, I believe. You have to pull the filter out, then you just tip the dirt out into your bin. So that's the filter system. So you've got a fairly coarse plastic mesh, and inside that is that combination of the foam and the fabric filter that I showed you earlier. So you'll be able to rinse that under running water as well. But of course, make sure everything's dry before you put it back in the cleaner. But having the spare filter with this particular model means that obviously when your filter is drying, you can be putting in your spare filter. So that seems okay. Have I locked it in position properly? That's unlocked. That's locked in. So that just fits in there. So I do think that, personally, I mean, I think that might turn out to be a little bit messy to empty, having to do that and tip that out. But then of course you've got the filter in your hand and you can give that a shake. I've not yet seen or tested a bagless vacuum cleaner that's got a very clean emptying system. That is the downfall, in my opinion, of bagless. A lot of them may be able to keep the dust in, but when you empty them, a lot of the dust goes into the environment. As I suspected, this particular Bosch is made in China, so don't expect made in Germany written on it, although, you know, it does feel quite good quality. Not everything made in China is poor quality. Obviously Bosch have a reputation to withhold or live up to. So obviously if they're going to produce a vacuum, they want it to be decent. They don't want to damage their reputation by introducing anything that's shoddy. Okay, so we've got 3 parts. Now, I do normally like to read the instructions, but it looks fairly straightforward. Push the head on. Ah, look at the back. There's a little button there. So we need to press that until the button pops out. Obviously when you need to remove the head, which you will do when using the tools, you must press that button in and then you'll be able to take the head off. There probably will be a little bit of charge, I'm not sure. We'll pop the handle on. Again, that looks like it's just the same. It's the same sort of fitting. You've got that little silver button. Obviously the handle goes in this way. Press it in until it clicks. It didn't click, but it is in securely. Yes, because the little button there has popped out. I'll just turn it on just to see if there's any charge. That's very quiet, but I've only got it on setting 1. Now, as you can see, it does have a little bit of charge. Obviously, when it's fully charged, that will have the 3 lights on. Even on turbo, it's pretty quiet. In fact, that sounds a lot smoother. It's hard to tell on a YouTube video, but I have seen some videos of this cleaner and it didn't sound particularly smooth or quiet. It's got a nice swivel. Yeah, I'll just have a quick go of it on turbo. That's certainly quieter than the Dyson cordless cleaners I've used. It's a very, very quiet vacuum. Now I did notice when I was doing that quick, brief run that the battery indicator was flashing. See if I can show you. So obviously that must indicate that it is nearly out of power. Being lithium ion, it will continue to clean until the battery has run out of power and it'll just stop dead. It's not like the old-fashioned NiCad type batteries where they would start off okay and then they would slowly start to slow down and it would be like a slow, long, painful death. With lithium ion, it's a quick, clean, that's it, I've gone. I've gone to meet my maker. But in this case, it just means you need to charge it up. Speaking of charging it up, that's a relief. I thought for a minute, it does actually stand up. As you can see, it stands up on its own. Some cordless cleaners don't, so that's handy. There's no sort of docking station with this, so you need to stand it up next to a suitable socket outlet. Completely forgotten that I needed to charge this. The charger was in the box. Being a UK version, it's got the UK plug on it, and it's yes, it's a 220 to 240 volt, 30 volt output, and it says use only with VC so and so, so it must be the model that this is. So basically you've got a shortish cord. It is a little, slightly over a metre in length. Let's see where we plug it in. Just at the top there. So as you can see, there's a little jack there. Plug that in, and then plug your plug into the socket and wait for it to charge. I'll plug it in now and we'll just see what happens to the battery status indicator. I'm not sure if anything lights up on the cleaner. I'll soon find out. So as you can see, I've plugged it in and the battery status indicator is pulsating, and I believe when it's fully charged it will stop pulsating and it will show all 3 lights stationary, so you'll know that it's got the full charge. It says in the instructions to charge it for 6 hours before you use it for the first time. This Bosch has an easy to remove brush roll, very similar to the Zoo'o system. When you want to take the brush out, either to change it or to clean it, you press down on this black button here and then you can just pull out the complete brush roll. You don't even have to turn the machine on its back. So that's the regular brush roll. If you want to change it for the animal, the pet hair version, you just slide the new brush roll in and push it until it clicks like that. So that's pretty simple. And of course, if you need to clean the brush roll, again you just remove it. It's got a strip down both sides. Now that's to use a pair of scissors, so say you've got long-haired people or long-haired animals and the brush roll needs to be cleaned, you can just get a pair of scissors and just cut along the groove either side, pull off the hair and then pop it back in the cleaner. This sensor control light will illuminate blue when the cleaner is operating efficiently. When you need to clean the filter, that blue colour will turn to red and will start to flash, indicating you need to take the filter out and clean it. Or in the case of this model, you can take out the dirty filter, replace it with the clean one, and then you can carry on with your vacuuming. When the cleaner's in position 1, you have suction only and the brush roll remains stationary. It's only in setting 2 and turbo that the brush roll rotates. To convert the vacuum for use with cleaning tools, you need to first remove the main handle by pressing the silver button and pulling the handle upwards, and replace the main handle with the short handle that just pushes on until it clicks into place. Next you need to remove the floor head from the main body of the cleaner by pressing the button here and pulling it away. To fit the flexible hose, you need to line up the hole on the hose unit to the silver button on the base of the suction unit. Just push it in until it clicks into position. Finally, you need to attach the other end of the shoulder strap to the end of the short handle. It's got a Velcro fitting, so just open it out, slide it through the slot here and fasten the Velcro. So as you can see, I've now got the Bosch Athlete on my shoulder. It is very light, but I must say it's quite big even with the short handle. It's very cumbersome. I wouldn't want to be using it for long periods with it on my shoulder like this. Also, one negative point is the hose doesn't swivel. It doesn't swivel at the handle end and it doesn't swivel where it enters the cleaner. So even in this short period I've got it on my shoulder, it is getting tangled up. So I can imagine in use that's going to be quite annoying after a while. I've read some reviews online of customers complaining that the machine doesn't have enough suction when using the hose. So I'm just going to judge the suction levels on setting 1, 2 and turbo. very little suction on setting 1. It might be okay for very lightweight dusting jobs. Setting 2, a little bit better. That would probably be okay for cleaning your curtains. And setting 3, which is turbo, no, it's not going to win any prizes for suction power through the hose, but on setting 3, the turbo setting, that should be more than adequate to clean your upholstery. It might be okay for your stairs on that setting, but as far as cleaning a car with this particular Bosch, I think basically it's far too big to be able to be used in your car effectively. You could, I suppose, put the unit on your back seat and direct the hose, especially with the crevice nozzle attached, and you could clean that way, but it's not the best choice for car cleaning. Okay, so I've had the Bosch Athlete Pro Animal on charge. It's fully charged, so I'm just going to do a brief initial pickup demonstration before my full demo, which will follow very soon. So this side of the dirt, which mainly consists of bits of paper, there's some pet hair and fluff in there as well. I'm going to do one side on setting 2 and then the next side on the turbo setting. Setting 1 is really only suitable for hard floors because it doesn't involve the rotating brush. It's just suction only. So for carpets you do need the brush activated. So let's start off on setting 2. That's a pretty good result. It's left a clean path. Didn't snow plough any of the larger bits either. So all in all, seems to be very good, but we'll see if the turbo on this side gives a bit of an extra boost to the performance. Definitely the turbo, it does seem to have a little bit extra oomph. There's certainly more suction power on turbo mode, and I think when I do my pet hair demonstration, turbo will be the setting I'll need. But I think for regular everyday cleaning, setting 2 will be more than adequate for most homes. Well, that's just about the end of my unboxing and first look at the Bosch Athlete Pro Animal Cordless Vacuum Cleaner. My first impressions are it seems very well made, it's nice and quiet, and it seems to give a good performance on carpets, although I've yet to do my full demonstration and review, so stay tuned for that. Now, I would say don't buy the cleaner with the toolkit. The toolkit is very awkward to attach, it's awkward to use, and the suction power is nothing to write home about. I only got this particular model because it was on offer and it worked out just a bit cheaper than the standard one. So if you can get it on offer, then there's no harm in going for this particular model. But don't expect great results from these cleaning tools. If you want a vacuum to whiz around your house to do mainly your carpets and hard floors, then it seems like a good choice. But please stay tuned for my full review when I'll be going into more depth about this cleaner. I'll be doing several performance tests. So please subscribe and be updated when I upload that video. If you like this video, please thumb up and please comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.